When Power Rangers Battle for the Grid released in March of 2018, it released with a small roster size of only 9 characters. Since then, due to free DLC and 2 season passes, the roster has doubled to now have 18 characters. While there are still more characters on the way, with a franchise as long and as expansive as Power Rangers, not every character that people want will make it into the game. Unfortunately, at some point, there is most likely going to be fan favorites left unrepresented, whether that be in characters, seasons, or even themes. Thus, I figured it would be fun to try and make some fan move lists and playstyle ideas for characters that people want in the game, or even for characters that nobody wants in the game just for fun. Throughout the video, I will be referring to the move list via numpad notation, but don't worry if you're unfamiliar with that. There will be an easy guide available on screen for you to refer to. Now, there is one very important disclaimer that I have to make. I am neither a game developer, nor am I a professional player. When it comes to Battle for the Grid specifically, I'm barely at above average skill level, to be honest. There's no guarantee that these move lists would be viable in reality, and there's also no guarantee that they would work at all. Regardless of that fact, I hope you enjoy the ideas presented. Now then, let's get started with what I knew had to be the first in this series. A major fan favorite and a highly requested pick, Black Ninja Ranger Adam Park. So, during the late stages of production for this video, Black Ninja Ranger Adam Park was added to Legacy Wars. The fact that he was added kinda makes the information here a little outdated, because Battle for the Grid takes a lot of inspiration from Legacy Wars. They're loosely connected, and they're made by the same people, so the fact that he's in now really makes this a big game changer. I guess that's on me for taking so long to finish this, but hey, look on the bright side, it's a sign of Adam's popularity and more to come. The video you see is still being presented as it was originally scripted, recorded, and edited, despite the changes that Legacy Wars brings. I don't think it'll be too jarring, but I do apologize for the discrepancy. Now then, let's actually get started with the video at hand. To start off with, let's cover Adam's normal attacks. These attacks come from closely observing patterns in his overall fighting style as the Black Ninja Ranger. Upon viewing all of the fights and fight scenes with Adam, which by the way is only a little over 5 minutes of content, it's clear that when fighting as the Black Ninja Ranger, he fights mainly with kicks and flips, focusing on keeping his opponents at a distance from him. For his standard light attack, instead of punching with a closed fist, Adam would instead hit the opponent with the palm of his hand in an open palm strike. This palm strike would have a standard 3-hit light combo. The first hit would have Adam strike with his left palm, the second hit would focus with his right palm, and the third hit would be both palms together in order to knock down the opponent. For his standard medium attack, Adam would have an elbow strike. This would of course have a 2-hit medium combo, with the second medium elbow strike knocking the opponent down. Finally, Adam's standard heavy attack would be a roundhouse kick. Similar to the medium attack, it would have a 2-hit heavy combo, and the second hit would knock the opponent down. These 3 normal attacks could be combined into a standard light, medium, and heavy combo, or in this case, a palm strike into an elbow strike into a roundhouse kick. These attacks line up with Adam's overall fighting style from the series, as the palm strike and the elbow strike are generally used as defensive maneuvers. As for the roundhouse kick, that highlights Adam's frequent use of kicks when fighting. Moving on to the 4 and 6 normal attacks, these take less direct inspiration from the series itself, and instead put more of an emphasis on Adam's ninja spirit, since as we all know,
I'm a frog.
Starting with his 4 medium, this would have Adam leap backwards from the opponent. The leap would set Adam back a little under 1/3 of the screen, creating a decent amount of distance between him and his opponent. The leap itself would be used as a defensive option rather than an offensive one. On the other hand, his 6 medium would count as the offensive option, where Adam flips forward with a kick. The flip forward would not have nearly as much distance to it as the leap backwards, but the kick at the end of the flip would have OTG properties on it. Lastly, Adam's 6 heavy would have him lift his hands from the ground upwards. This would be his launcher to send opponents into the air. Up next is Adam's 2 normal attacks, and these were honestly the most difficult to come up with, seeing as how he doesn't have many low attacks. In the end, I decided with just making them each variations of kicking maneuvers, to continue the focus on Adam's kicks in his fights. 2 light has Adam stretch his leg outwards to attack. Doing this would move Adam slightly from his starting position. 2 medium is a little difficult to describe, but it would essentially have Adam crouch down and extend his legs backwards in the air. The idea for this move is based off of a very ridiculous moment from one of Adam's fights, however in-game it would be nowhere near as exaggerated as it is here. 2 medium would also work as Adam's anti-air option. For the final 2 normal, we have 2 heavy, where Adam does a ground spin. The ground spin would have Adam spin on the ground, as the name implies, and it would include both a front and a back hitbox. The back hitbox would be pretty useless considering that there's rarely an opportunity for the opponent to be behind you, but it is still an option included just in case those rare situations come up. Adam's final normal attacks take us to his jumping attacks. Jumping Light would have Adam perform a hand push, where he pushes his hand outward in a curved motion. This move is based off of this interaction from the series, and it also serves as a somewhat air variation of his normal light palm strike. For Jumping Medium, Adam would simply have an air kick. Similar to his 2 Light, Adam would just extend his leg outward in the air, performing a simple kick while keeping his air momentum. To finish off, 2 Heavy is one of the more interesting moves in his toolset. 2 Heavy would be an air spiral, where Adam spins around in the air. The origin for this move is a little debatable as to whether or not it can be attributed to Adam, because Billy was the one to perform the air spiral in the show. However, Billy performed this as part of a team attack with Adam, so I think that's loose enough interpretation for it to connect and give that move to Adam. The air spiral would include a ground bounce effect on enemies that it hits. Transitioning from the normal attacks, we go to Adam's special attacks, which is where most of the fun in his kit is found. All of the special attacks for Adam were taken directly from various abilities that the ninja powers granted the Rangers in the series. Starting off with his regular special, Adam would utilize the ninja laser power to fire small projectiles. These projectiles would have low durability, each only having 1 health point, and they would be very small in size. To make up for this, Adam would fire 5 of them at a single time. They would also travel in a very fast and very erratic pattern, making them unpredictable projectiles to deal with, despite their small size and low durability. Adam's 4th special would be a mix of 2 different ninja powers, combining the ability to create a smokescreen with the ability to replace himself when getting hit would give Adam what I call a smokescreen counter for his 4th special. Adam would put his hands together and go into a counter state. If he is hit in this counter state, a smokescreen would appear and would stun the opponent. The stunned opponent would be unable to move and thus be free for Adam to follow up with an attack. Adam's 6th special would use the ninja speed ability, demonstrated by several of the Ninja Rangers. There would also be an extra layer of detail to this flash dash. If the special button is pressed, Adam will only dash forward a minor distance, not covering too much more distance than if he performed a regular dash. If the special button is held, however, then Adam will dash forward a substantial distance, up to mid-screen if held fully. In this state, Adam would be able to dash through projectiles, and he would also be able to dash through the opponent. The flash dash would be used to travel across the screen quickly, as well as getting past any projectiles the enemy might throw at your way. The final special would be his jump special, and this is perhaps the most complicated tool in Adam's kit because of how many options it has. His jump special would be inspired by the burrowing ability, demonstrated by him and Billy against the Tengas. Jump special would cause Adam to disappear as he, quote, burrows under the stage. From there, Adam is given 4 different follow-up options. Pressing light immediately after would have Adam pop up from underneath and hit the opponent with a regular jab. Pressing medium would result in a low hit being dealt to the opponent after popping up. The heavy option would have Adam rise even higher and launch an overhead attack. Finally, pressing special again, or not pressing any follow-up button, would have Adam pop up behind the opponent. Now, the window for the secondary option on this move would be very small, and it would require a lot of good timing to get the best possible mix-up option. But I think that with all the different options Adam has, his jump special would lead to a lot of possibilities and a lot of options to trick the opponent. Finally, we reach Adam's extra moves. Starting with his EX, this is once again inspired by his Ninja Ranger spirit. Embracing the frog that he is, Adam would crouch down and leap twice, covering half of the screen total with both leaps. Each of these leaps would have armor on them, and they would have OTG properties. From there, 2 different outcomes are possible. If the leaps connect fully with the opponent, then Adam will perform a flying kick maneuver to hit the opponent and end the EX sequence. If the leaps are blocked, or if they miss the opponent entirely, then instead of the flying kick, Adam will instead stumble and be free to get hit by the opponent. This EX is set up to be high risk, high reward. The armor and OTG properties help the EX to have a much better chance of connecting. But if it fails, or if it is blocked, then Adam is open for major damage. The EX leads to tricky situations, where you have to try to get the opponent or else risk getting hit yourself. For the super move, he would summon a ninja clone. The best way to describe this super would be simply comparing it to Morrigan's super from the Marvel vs. Capcom series. Similar to how she uses her super, the ninja clone would spawn on the opposite end of the opponent, and would mirror each of Adam's attacks. The ninja clone would be present for approximately 18 seconds before being reformed with the main Adam. Adam's assist would be the same as his normal special, the ninja laser power. However, instead of firing 5 lasers at a time, the assist would only fire 3. Finally, for the throws, they're inspired by this interaction from his first fight with the ninja powers, where he jumps onto a Tenga warrior's shoulders before leaping off of him. For the forward throw, it would be nearly identical to this. Adam grabs the opponent, jumps onto their shoulders, and then leaps off of them. As for the back throw, the startup would be the same, with Adam grabbing the opponent by their shoulders. However, instead of jumping onto them and then leaping off, Adam would instead merely flip over the opponent, flipping them behind him. So there you have the breakdown of what would be Adam's full moveset, from his normals, to his specials, to his extra attacks. At the beginning of the video, I stated that as the Black Ninja Ranger, Adam fights mainly with kicks and flips, and likes to keep his opponent at a distance from him. That's how I designed this moveset to be. The ninja powers were never about strength, they were more so about versatility, and there's more than enough versatility in Adam's kit here. If I had to categorize him, it's very clear Adam would be a mix-up heavy character, using all of the options he has to keep the opponent guessing and unsure of how to react. Adam wouldn't need to do lengthy combos or deal heavy damage, because that's never really how he fought in the series. It doesn't line up with his fighting style there, so it doesn't make sense to implement that here. When it comes to the likeliness of Black Ninja Ranger Adam Park being added to Battle for the Grid, I have to give it a 5 out of 10. He's a fan favorite character for sure, and he has a major following, but not being in Legacy Wars really holds him back a lot. As for how much I personally would like to see him join, that's currently sitting at an 8 out of 10. Let me know what you thought of this moveset for Adam. Are there any changes you would make to his moveset, or do you somewhat agree with the ideas I came up with? Making movesets for characters is something I'd love to make into a continuing series, as there are just so many characters I have ideas for, and so many I want to cover. Let me know how you think I could improve these videos if I continue making them. Whether it be suggestions to the overall presentation of the information, suggestions on the visuals I use, suggestions on clips I could use, anything you have at all, I want these videos to be the best that they can be. Also, feel free to suggest future characters you'd like to see me come up with a moveset for. I already have the next few videos planned out, but after that, I am more than willing to do viewer suggestions. The more unorthodox the suggestion, the better, because that requires me to get really creative with what I come up with. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope you'll join me again, as the next fan-made character moveset will be one that leaves everyone hungry for more.